What's up everyone? I have a Mothman victory for you today. I'm going to be giving it its time in the spotlight because both in unicorn pack and in custom packs I feel like it is greatly underutilized and I wanted to make a fun run that includes it. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you do I really hope that you like and subscribe. But for now the premise is going to be that we are going to be combining it with a flea. I may have probably put a flea in the thumbnail even, but you can combine it with lots of different pets. First of all, let me explain the ability of the Mothman as we find it right here in the shop. The Mothman on faint is going to deal 2 damage to one random pet with an ailment. So you can combine it with lots of different pets that give ailments, including this Cuddle Toad right here. We're going to take the Witch Broom, which is going to give weakness to one random perkless enemy, I think it is. And therefore we get to deal some massive damage with the Mothman to it. You can see it landed right there on the dolphin at the back, and because of the snipe on the dolphin we actually managed to win the round. So you can see it is proving its usefulness right from turn 3, but unfortunately it is a little bit weak of a unit and it's going to fall off very quickly. But for now we're getting very lucky by getting it up to level 2 immediately. At higher levels it has the opportunity to deal damage to multiple pets with ailments. Unfortunately here, however, we are still putting weakness on only one pet, so we get to snipe only one pet with the Mothman. But that is soon going to become a non-issue because as you can see right here in the shop we find a flea. And curiously enough we sell a level 2 stoat into another flea, so now we have double weakness applied from the flea. And then the Mothman is going to deal damage to those 2 weakened pets with its ability. And because weakness obviously amplifies any damage that the opponent's units take, it becomes 5 instead of 2, which I think is a relatively decent snipe to have on turn 5. So let's see if we actually get it working right here. We put weakness on the fish and their hoopoe bird, and as you can see we win as a result. I really enjoyed using the flea for this run in particular because its weakness is always going to target the most healthy pets on the opponent's team. So even in the late game it's going to be super useful for us because it is going to be removing some equipment. And then maybe the damage from the Mothman can be relevant sometimes, but most of the time I kind of doubt it sadly. Here we're going to pick up another Witch Broom. We pick up yet another Mothman for another snipe, and here I think we should be having a pretty easy victory. Yup, we have lots of snipes to work with and therefore we win quite easily. You can see I have picked up an Anubis as well, which I think is going to be very synergistic with the team, especially if we manage to get it to level 2. In case you don't know the Anubis's ability, it re-triggers any faint effects on your team at the start of the fight. But only level 1 Anubis makes it so that tier 2 or lower faint abilities trigger, which means only the Mothman gets to trigger. We don't get any anteater ability, we don't get any flea ability, but that is fine for now. We did end up losing, which is a little bit sad, but I think we have a very good foundation. We have gotten very lucky and this build is actually super strong in the early game, so we have managed to preserve some hearts. But obviously if we want to stay winning we need some stats on the team, so we're going to pick up this monkey. I was considering an alpaca there for a second because as I mentioned we do want the Anubis to be level 2 and the alpaca would have been a big help with that. But instead we're just going to be taking the stats, and kind of unfortunate here that we get to snipe their camel and give them some extra stats, but at the end of the day we still have good enough stats so we can win. Ideally I wanted this build to have like a turtle as well, so we can have 3 faint abilities for the Anubis to trigger, but instead we're just going to have the flea and the Mothman. Eventually we might transition into yet another Mothman, but that will be after we have scaled up our team. For now we are getting the level 3 Mothman as well as the level 3 flea, and we also managed to hit a level 2 Anubis. So the build is online. and I am starting to consider transitioning into Bird of Paradise scaling with this hammerhead shark right here. You know me, if it is a min build, I think I really like using the Bird of Paradise because it just gives you scaling for free. And you can see the strength of this build from turn 9 now that we have leveled up all of our stuff. Even when we don't have the stats, we manage to eke out a draw, which is very good for this team, I think. We are starting to work on the Bird of Paradise now. We don't need to get a higher level on the Anubis. I was thinking about double turtle right here because I did mention that I want it, but now with a Bird of Paradise on the team, I think I instead just want to focus on getting a free slot in the team so we can start buying selling stuff like oyster, cow, zebra, crow even, that you can see I have frozen in the shop, but I chose to go with blobfish pill because it is more cost efficient. And yeah, this is a team I think we should win pretty easily against because we put weakness on them, and elephant blowfish's weakness is weakness, curiously enough. So here we go, we get a level 2 on the Bird of Paradise. We're going to take the blobfish pill as well, so we're going to start working towards a level 3. I think this mongoose is also a pretty good get. We are not using any toys currently, so we can use the TV in order to scale the team up. And you've probably seen in the pack that we have a husky, but I think Bird of Paradise is just a better scaler overall because we get to use melon. And melon is going to be very important for this build. Not against this opponent who has massive stats and insane scaling, but I think in the future it will prove its usefulness. For now though, we just keep on scaling by selling a blue ringed octopus, an avocado as well. Kind of unlucky this turn with the lack of levels up on the Bird of Paradise, but at least we still have the blobfish, I think it's called. Yeah, the blobfish frozen, and hopefully that will result in a level 3 relatively soon as we find a pill. But here we go, the TV is triggering now, giving us some extra stats. The stats of the flea are in the 20s, or they will be in the 20s once we get the trigger of the Bird of Paradise. And now we even have it up to level 3, so that is absolutely perfect. Our scaling is online and we are finding some very good pets in the shop. We are very happy to scale up the team as fast as possible because, as I mentioned earlier, we actually want to focus on getting yet another Mothman into the team so we can start dealing some respectable damage. Here we have a super satisfying round with the big flea getting to remove the peanut on the big scorpion that they have, and therefore we managed to win quite easily, otherwise I think it would have been a loss. Here we are going to just take some equipment, we are going to buy the cow for the milks. The stats of the flea are going to be pretty respectable. If we can manage to get them over 30 HP, it will mean a 50-50 won't be able to one-shot us with a melon. So I think that is what we shall focus on. Here I am freezing a chocolate, as I said, in anticipation of the future Mothman that we're going to be purchasing. We could have frozen that pepper right there for the Bird of Paradise itself because it is a 15-15, so it is a pretty respectable stat line as well. But as you can see, we don't really need it because we end up winning quite easily right there. And we are nearing the end of the run. We have only 2 more trophies left to go. But this is the point of the game where the build is going to start struggling a little bit, even with our excellent shop luck, getting multiple oysters. Here I'm even giving up on the idea of buy selling a blue ringed octopus because instead we just want to find the Mothman. But if I'm following that logic, I guess I should not have bought sold the zebra, so that makes my gameplay a little bit hypocritical. But I think we still have a pretty decent way to go until we get the final victory, especially if we manage to lose right here, which against this scary looking team we actually might end up losing. But let us take a look. The Hydra heads are not strong enough to take us down, and we have the stats on the Anubis that are necessary for us to win. So here we go, we are on 9 trophies. We very luckily get the second Mothman. We no longer have an open slot for buy sales, but I think that is perfectly fine because we are nearing 50-50 on our units already. So hopefully this is a win, but even if it isn't, we'll get to show off the build a little bit more. And as you can see right here, with an 82 attack behemoth up at the front, sadly we can't really survive. They've been scaling with cat plus sauropod, but that doesn't matter. We have yet another attempt. We still have 2 hearts remaining, so it's kind of starting to look a little bit scary because our team is obviously not well suited for the end game. But I think we're still capable of taking down multiple teams. So let's hop in another battle and see how we do. I'm taking my sweet time here. Maybe I should be unfreezing the avocado because I don't think it's going to be a worthwhile purchase. Here we get a little bit screwed by their leopard tiger removing the melon, and therefore the scorpion gets to remove our strongest flea. But this time I think we will have a victory on our hands, so I really hope you enjoyed today's run, and if you did, I really hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.